clip on make it so I don't have this thing in my ear for you to see. Welcome, welcome, ladies. I don't want to forget, brushes is the code. I will pin it here, and I also will say it multiple different times throughout the show tonight that you get 15% off if you use the code brushes at checkout for 24 hours. So that's something that I like to, my hair is basically telling you how the day's been. I like to give you a little special treat by spending your time with me on a Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to wait for a little bit for everyone to get on. Hi, Fran from Chicago. I have a very exciting announcement. So I want to see some cross the Atlantic, across the Pacific. We have some things to talk about. This has been a long time coming. I mean, a very long time. I should have screenshot how long this question has been asked, and then where all the ladies were about to give up, and they were very upset. And I have some good news. And you know, it's funny, just like that, it just happened after working for so many years on this project. So Tulsa, Oklahoma, Karen, nice to see you tonight. Connecticut, Linda, thanks for joining. Linda, Cincinnati, I'm going to, hopefully I put yes, I did, my rose lip balm real quick. I got to just do this really quick so I can talk to you. Hi, Terry from Florida. Kansas City, Karen from New York. Alabama, Rena, nice to see you again. Indiana, Mary. New Jersey, Pam. Wisconsin, Karen. Long Island, Catherine. Connie from Denver, Colorado. Raleigh, North Carolina. Beautiful Rhode Island. Ooh, Canada. Here we go. Australia, I see you. You're coming through. Naples, Cheryl, nice to see you. I think maybe I should put this back. I hope this doesn't bother you because it looked like a gray hair sticking out all last week. But I'm in a comfy robe tonight with you. We're going to talk about brushes, makeup brushes, which are the best tool. And we'll just put the hair back. It doesn't really look like it should be down. See, this looks like the little microphone too. Nancy from Nebraska, nice to see you. We're just getting ready here, just trying to pull everything back. I've told you, tomorrow I have a video going live at 10 a.m. It's just my Thursday video for you. And I had told you last week that I have a really good title for you called Aging Gracefully is a Scam. So we talk about that tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can tune into that. Obviously, it's on my channel, so you can see it anytime you want to. But I was in so much pain last night, which is, I guess it's common for people that start working out again. But I have to tell you, I have never had sciatica like that, ever. And I didn't know how today was going to go. So that's why my hair looked the way it did. It was hard. It's very hard. I have to tell you, I have to be very careful because this has happened more than once so far. So how is everyone doing? How's everyone doing on Wednesday? Can you believe we're in September? I can't believe it. I'm going to just use I'm setting the tone right now. I'm going to be using a little bit of my rose hand cream that Guerlain gave me. That's very difficult to get out of this little thing. I just want to smell the roses. I did a very nice treatment on my face prior to jumping on here, and it just arrived today. I saw it when I was in New York, so I ordered it. It's the Chanel No. 1 mask. It is the mask Revitalant. No, something like that. It's really, really nice, and it's a gel. So I wanted to use this today. It smelled so good. I really like this line for skincare. You can see it's like a clear, really beautiful. It's like a jelly. It feels really good on the skin. Let me just make sure I can get let me see if I can get my Instagram up so I can answer questions on everyone. See, it doesn't say that I'm live. That's just very strange. Okay, let me just check real quick if it'll let me. Because I try to, this is live, so I want to answer everybody's questions. We stream on TikTok, on YouTube. Yeah, it doesn't, for some reason. I'll check over on TikTok in a second. All of our platforms. So I really want to be able to answer you, and the team puts up questions on my iPad so I can see them and answer them, but I hope to answer as many questions as I can today for you. You think you're blocked on Instagram, you can't find me? Oh, that's interesting. I don't think so. I don't. We'll have to check. We'll have to check about that. It's very strange. It's a beautiful day in Cincinnati. That's so great. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Fall's already here. Cool weather is coming. So here we go. We are going to faces prepped. We're going to talk about essential makeup brushes today. And this is really great. This brush just came out. You know, before I get started though, I have to make a little announcement because on Friday we had a very big milestone for Nicole Beauty, and that is going global. So I have seen the questions about, are you available in the UK? Are you available in Australia? And I know everybody got really exhausted. I wanted to show you this. I just took this out. I want to show you the box. Really exhausted with asking, are you coming back? Are you coming over the seas? Whatever. We are here. So we are excited to be able to offer our products. So if you tune in from any of these different countries, you're able to take part in this, order the products, be excited, learn from all the tutorials, all of the lives, all of the YouTube videos, all the Fierce Agings, which is a series I have on my YouTube channel featuring women 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We do makeup for real skin, real problems, and it's very exciting. So I'm looking forward to putting makeup on today. I'm going to, this is something I like to do. I feel like I need to put on some earrings. I'm in a bathrobe. I need to make it a little bit glam. These are new Jenny Bird earrings that I think are beautiful, and they have a necklace that matches. You'll see them when I do styling on stories. I think I've worn these in some of my reels. This is a beautiful, very, very interesting blemish. When you are over 40, you get the weirdest blemishes in the weirdest places. I cannot believe it. It's on the side of my nose, but I was experimenting with the new oil that I bought, and I think that's what happened. So I think these are really pretty. I just bought a dress that has this on it, on the sleeves, and also on like the V-neck. I think it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. So I can't wait until that comes. We'll see what happens. So this is a huge milestone. Do I sell a Nicole Beauty robe? No, I don't, actually. This is for me in all my YouTube videos and everything. It is so comfortable. I felt like just being really comfortable tonight and talking beauty with you. So you love the brushes in their case. Yes, that is one of the really great things about the brush set is that I have the top. I just brought the top over. You have it in a tube, basically. So I just wanted you to have the right amount of brushes. You don't need to have a ton of brushes. I saw that when I was doing all these classes and all the women didn't know how to use them. They were dirty. They were, some freebies, some things that they got in the gift with purchase, and then their brushes. And it just turned out to be like makeup in itself is very confusing if you're not using the right products or have your own routine down. Then you add in all the brushes and then you're like, okay, you know what? I don't know. Or you use brushes that are really not for what you're trying to achieve. So I saw that a lot also. So that's why I wanted you to have brushes that you could throw into your luggage. You could throw into your weekender. You could do anything you wanted to, because I was having my brushes I was storing them in different ways, and then they were always crushed and the hair was always like completely like ruined by the time I got to my destination. So I wanted you to have something you did not worry about. And then a lot of the ladies also will buy 2 sets, like especially when we have a sale, and then they'll keep their dirty brushes in one and the clean in the other. On the top, let me get the top so you know what I do. This is kind of what I do with, I don't know why it was here. I must have walked out with it. So this is what the tube looks like when you get it. And then, so the top of it, I just use for, like, say I'm on my vanity or I'm at a hotel. I don't let anything touch the actual vanity. I'll just put everything that I use, like my mascara, concealer, everything goes in the empty one. So you have the brushes on one side, and then you have everything that you normally use. I like to see my eyeliners like in the cup. I do this also when I'm filming at the studio for Fierce Aging, because it helps me just know like, oh, these are all the eye products I'm going to actually use, and I don't have to like scramble around on the table for them. So that's what I like doing. Also, when you order the brushes, when you get them, you'll see that it's the brush. So you can see the brush on the side, so you know it's what brush that you ordered. I just thought it was like a nice little touch there. So that's our new concealer brush that we just came out with. I redesigned it for you. So it's a little bit more dense here. It's really nice to be able to get into these little areas here. It's the perfect brush. So we're going to talk about that. And basically Buy the set, you get 10 brushes. It's almost like an 11 though, because this brush, which we'll get into, is a dual brush. So it could act as two, but really it's one. I count it as one. So that is exciting. We went global, we're shipping. This is really just, it's been on my list. I think I got expired from saying that we're still working on it, but we're excited. This is really a wonderful thing, and I hope that you're really excited too, because I know you've been asking for it for a very long time, and I'm glad we're able to finally reveal that we are international. So I have really, my skin feels really nice after that. I did do a little waxing of my lip before, but it doesn't seem to be that red. So I put that mask on afterwards for that sole purpose. But we need to hydrate the skin. And you know, I was going to use something a little bit different tonight. I'm going to do a makeup tutorial so you can see the brushes and how I use them and what you could use them also for. So it's this is going to be a game changer for you. If you feel like your makeup's not going on nicely or smooth, or you're seeing streaks, or you're getting too much in certain areas, I'm going to basically break it down for you to keep it very simple and what brushes to use. I'm using this Clarins Bright Plus. I bought this, I think this is in May, I bought this also. Advanced Brightening Dark Spot Targeting Serum. I like the consistency, I like the formulation. I do not like this packaging. It's very difficult to, it's very difficult to get this up. And then when I go, it's just strange. So I don't think that's a really great idea, but I like the serum. So we're going to put that on tonight for something a little bit different. Also, I brought out this, since I was using the hand cream, I brought out the same fragrance from Guerlain, is the Rosa. Is really beautiful. I really like this. So we're gonna also, this is sometimes how I set the mood when you kind of feel like you need a little jolt. You need to get that sensory going. You need that good smell. You need to feel good. Your skin feels good. So then I'm going to use a line smoothing eye cream from Rock. They actually sent this to me recently. I have a bunch of their stuff. I have this that I'm getting through most. I use this on my chest. Look, I only have a little bit left. This is the retinol. It's let me see, a complexion, retinol complexion, but they're like these little, I like the concentration. I saw a big difference. I have a vitamin C one too for my chest. So I just break this open and I put it on my neck and décolleté at night. So I have 3 left. So these are great. And it's so easy because you can get them at the drugstore. So they just gave me a really cute little PR package. They had the eye cream. If you were on my Instagram, you saw that they gave like a farmer's market, like apple box, and it came with all their vitamin C. It's delicious. I juiced all of the oranges that they gave me. So I have this fresh, delicious orange juice. And it was a really cute, very well branded, themed out little PR package. But I love their products. I bought, I just have my little favorites that I like to do. So I just did a nice hydrating eye treatment. It's not too much. It's a really nice one if you're looking for something with retinol. My eyes are very sensitive when it comes to retinol around the eyes, so I have to be careful, and this one is fine. Now I have a lot of pigmentation going on. So the first thing that I do always is I prep the skin like I did with you, and I'm ready to go so that my skin's not dry. Hold on, let me just see if I can get on here real quick, because then I can have the questions from everybody. All right. Okay, let me try Instagram real quick. It's just strange. I didn't have a problem before, and now it doesn't show it that I'm live. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Okay, good. Perfect. Oh, good. Hawaii. I just saw Hawaii's on there. I'm going to be able to see probably a lot more now that I have it up. All right, so I'm prepping the skin. Everything's great, minus the large blemish that is now basically just pigmentation. and it's been healed, but we have to deal with that. Darkness on the eyes. The first brush that I'm going to pick out, and you know what, let me just go through the brushes so it makes sense for you if you're new and you don't have the brush set. So you have the little tube that comes like this, and you're going to have the brushes. I made sure that the brushes have the name of what they're for on every single one. The only one that doesn't have that is going to be oh no, it does actually. Concealer, I thought it didn't because it was silver, but your concealer lip brush. So let's start with the first one that I always use that I think is an important brush to have. And I'll let you know also which ones are available individually. But as a makeup artist, I obviously couldn't go to set and not have the right tools. My tool belt, my makeup tool belt is full of, I mean, it might look like I have tons of brushes, but I know exactly what brush will do what on the makeup application that I want. So that's why it was very strategic with what I did for you, because I didn't want you to feel like you kept needing to add. You can do a full makeup with your brushes. You don't need more than this, unless you have a specific angle or a specific kind of brush that you do like and you can't live without. Also, I did do and just in case, this is really for emergencies only, in your eyeshadow palettes, which are your 3 eyeshadow palettes in this well, I made, just in case you ever forgot your brushes, like, happens to me, I did 2 little brushes in there so you could use them. It's not for, this isn't something where you're going to use them every single day and they're going to last, because, again, these are just little sponges. They're very delicate. So I made them where it had the synthetic hair on one side for you. You had a sponge that's a little bit angled. You have a more narrow sponge here that's going to be able to apply a product differently. And then you have an angled synthetic hair here. So if you needed to do your eyeliner, if you were going to try to wing it out, maybe you got this wet for your eyeshadow, you could do that. So they are intentional. It's not like I just threw 2 brushes in there for you, because I don't do that. This is something that you could use if you are needing to, or it's a supplement, like where you're like, you know what, I like this little angle, I'm going to just use it. It gives me just the perfect little baby wing, or whatever the case is. But that, a lot of people think that they don't use these. Well, guess what? When you forget your brushes or you're doing a certain look, you need something like that. So you have that as an option or as a resource. So when it comes to the brushes, this is a concealer brush. You'll see it says right on the side, concealer brush. I made it. Now they're all synthetic. They're all vegan. They're all ultra, ultra soft. I don't have brushes that scratch your eyes or your eyelids or drag across. I don't find that to be comfortable. I don't feel that mature women should ever experience that. As a former model, I experienced that way too many times in the makeup chair, and I always remembered it. And I remembered how irritating and frustrating, and how I didn't think I was going to look good, because I felt like my eye was like going to be so red by like the whole scratching, and it just wasn't what I would ever want to experience. Not to say that I would want to ever create something that wasn't ultra, ultra smooth. So I enjoy it. And I also enjoy when I'm working on my clients that it just goes on the way I want it to. So this is the concealer brush. You can use this, which we will tonight, with your eye primer. I love doing that. It's funny because I used to just use my finger, but I love the brush because I can get down into this inner corner and to the outer corner, and I get this really nice application. It's like a nice sheer veil. It's not too much. So sometimes with the finger, I feel like I'm kind of taking it off. It's not even. So with the brush, it's really nice. So you can get into this inner corner. You can also get underneath the eye very nicely. Again, I don't do a lot of big motions and movements when I'm applying makeup. So I want you to be able to have that technique, and I'll show some techniques tonight when it comes to using the brush. You can get around that little corner of the nose. It's a very useful brush because it's able to get into those harder areas there, but not take away all of the product that you're putting on. So that's the first brush that I use when I start my makeup. Then when I'm going into an eyeshadow, I have an eyeshadow brush. I actually call this my flat shadow brush on YouTube because it's flat. So I kind of nicknamed it the flat eyeshadow brush, and I pick up the eyeshadow a particular way when I use this brush, and I place it on the eye also in a particular way the way that I intended this brush to be used. I did see a lot in my classes with the ladies that they would use their eyeshadow with their brush, whatever brush they were using. So what I would do in my classes would be this. I had them bring in all of their makeup. It was called Junk in the Trunk. Bring all your makeup in. I want to see everything that you have, how you're using it, what colors you have, like how old they are, etc. And I would do one half of the face for them and teach them what I was doing. And then I would have them do the other side because I had to see what they retained from what I was teaching them. So I would show them how to, when I would pick up the product, what I would do and how I would put it onto the eye. What I would see was a lot of this going on, the palettes, and then a lot of this back and forth like this. So they would pick up too much product. And then the application was always tips. They would always just use the tip and they would fluff it around. So they had all the product that was here and then it would come out this way. So, or they had so much on that they would go like this and the shadow would go all the way up to their brow bone. And then we would, it would be a darker color. So then we would have to kind of do some techniques to pull it down. So this is my experience of watching and why I've designed things a certain way to really be an ease of application. So that's the shadow brush that I have here. Then we move into two of my other brushes that I really enjoy. And I don't know if, I don't know, I haven't heard of any of the ladies talking about these two brushes or having to troubleshoot. But this brush is the tapered blending brush. It's really neat because it's like a pencil. So it has a little bit of a point to it. So when you want to get into, you want a specific area with contour, you're able to do that because it's like you're basically have a point, right? You can get into very like little area and have that product stay there and create that whatever you're trying to create with your eye with the tapered blending brush. So you can still blend it, but it's going to be a very more a direct application with the color that you're using. Now, if you want to be more smudgy, this is the short smudge brush. This is what I call my little eraser brush. So I think that it's a really important brush because when you have your eyeliner and you feel like you didn't do it very straight, you can go back and you can blend it like this or just create a softer line. Maybe you want it to be a little bit smoky. You can, it's dense. The brush is very dense, so it's going to pick up more product. So the denser the brush, the more it's going to pick up that product. So you could really create if you wanted to do a smoky eye, or maybe you just wanted to blend a little bit more in this area here. You could do that, but it's going to smudge everything up for you. Great to do underneath your eyes when you have a little shadow left. If you wanted that softer, you don't want to do an eyeliner on the bottom, you can do a really nice little soft kind of touch underneath there like that. So the short smudge brush is my favorite. I just love because I feel like it just erases all the mistakes and you don't have to worry, especially when you're doing your eyeliner and you have shaky hands or you can't really see very well. I also didn't make the brushes very long, so you're not competing with your mirror. Like when you have your 5 times mirror, your 10 times, whatever, you're not fighting with it where it's like you don't have enough room and it's very frustrating because you're trying to look up close and the brush is the handle is just too long. So I made them certain size for you, easy for travel, but also easy for use when you have to look up very closely in your mirror. So that is the short smudge brush. Now, a brush that you get in the kit and get individually is going to be the blending brush. So what you're going to see here is that it's fluffy. So this is such a great blending brush. I use this in a couple different ways. So when I have on my eyeshadow and I really want to blend this part here up, and I just really want it to be a really nice, smooth, no demarcation, this is a great brush because you see it's fluffy. It's going to really nicely disperse that color and give you a really refined look. Now this is the brush I also use in the Nikita Banana to set, which is called my soft set technique, where I have the Nikita Banana, it's the pressed powder. I just roll it in here. So I always have 2 or I'll have 3 of these. So I always have a clean one. If I'm using this for my eyeshadow, I'll have a clean one. I just roll it in here like that. And then I will set underneath the eye just enough. It's just perfect amount for me. I felt like it's really worked with setting the cream, whether it's the cream color concealer or the cream color corrector or the creamy concealer. So that is your blending brush. Then we have the buffing brush. This is the foundation buffing brush. And then this is a really nice rounded head. I have a very short area here, which this was really the main reason. I wanted something to buff in the foundation, the tinted moisturizer, whatever you're using, serum foundation. I really wanted to be able to buff it into the skin, and it worked like it should. There's no streaking unless you put on too much moisturizer and you have something too heavy underneath the skin. That's when you're going to start seeing that streaking. So if you have products and you're layering properly, including your SPF, you shouldn't get that. So just kind of revisit what's going on if you feel like you have too much. You shouldn't have that either with the primer, because the primer is a really nice thin veil, which reminds me, I will get that in a minute. So this is a really nice brush that's soft, perfectly domed, so I can fit in between this little small space, because I do have gray white hair. So you put any foundation or anything into your hair, it really looks terrible. It's not, I don't like to have to tiptoe around when I'm using brushes and not get it into my hair. I feel like then I'm going to have a line. So if I'm being too cautious because the brush is too big and it's always getting into my hair, then I'm going to cheat it, and then I'm going to not make it up here. So then there's going to be this kind of like, did you get the product where you needed to get it? So it's blended? No. So that's why this is perfect, that it doesn't, the bristles aren't going into my hair. So that's a very, very important part. If you have blonde hair or if you have gray hair, white hair, this is something that you would find very beneficial. So this comes individually also. It comes into your essential makeup brush kit. Then I have the foundation brush. It's a flat brush. So when I'm on YouTube with my Fierce Aging ladies, I always call it my flat foundation brush, but it is the foundation brush. This is really nice if you want to use this for your face primer, maybe your serum foundation. Maybe you like this angle better and you feel that it's around your nose. You know, you can use both of them if you feel that the buffing brush really gives you that beautiful finish, but you want to make sure you kind of just smooth everything out around the nose area, whatever, you know, works for you. You can do that. I also use this with my cream products, the Classic Beach Glow palette. I use this one brush as, these are all cream bronzer, highlighter, and blush. And I use this because I like how when I put it on, I'm just putting it where I need to go. It's not going anywhere else. So, and I can really kind of manipulate it. And then I'll do the highlighter. And then I just take the tips and I'll do the bronzer like that. I'll just work it into the blush. I like it. I think it's great. Sometimes I don't want to use my fingers. So the foundation brush really works well for that. And then you have your angled blush brush. So this could be your blush or bronzer. So it's angled here. And you're going to get a really nice application of your blush, your bronzer. You know, it's nice and it's not real dense. So you're going to be able to get a really nice application, right? You can intensify it if you want to, but this is really nice because you're going to get a really beautiful, just kind of glowy look. And then you can also use it for that bronzer, the creme brulee, if you will, which is the bronzer hybrid. You can do that. Then you have your blush powder brush. So we say this is a blush brush also, but it's your powder. So you could use it as a little blush if you wanted more product picked up, because you can see that it's much denser than your angled blush brush. So this could be something too where you decide to powder. Maybe you're doing T-zone, you know, that's all you want to do. Or maybe you use this more as your bronzing brush and you really want to take it down on your neck and you really want to kind of bronze up and that's all you use it for. It's really up to you on how you want to use your brushes for what product, what works for you. Of course, you have to have a spoolie because this is the one thing that had to be in my kit because I always have to brush the brows. And this is the best. So that's the only thing that I use this for. Since I'm dedicating it to my brows, I don't use it on my lashes. I just use it on my brows. Then you have your dual little brush here. So you have a concealer on one side. You can see that it's a nice nice size for your concealer, or if you want to use this as a larger lip brush, you can. So I like that it has a top on it though for you, so it's covered. And if it's on your lips or if it's going underneath your eye, and then on this side, you just pull this out, and then you have your pointed lip brush. So maybe you are doing a darker color and you want to have more precision, or you want to be able to get in those corners, or really kind of just really get that definition. Sometimes easier than going from the bullet, especially if your bullet, depending on what's happened to your lipstick, if it's still like this, you probably can, get into those corners. If it's flat or if it's almost to the bottom or empty, then you can use your brush and you can really get everything out of it. This is the best part of a brush, because when you get down to the end of the bullet, you can get into that white cap, and that's the way you do it with your little brush. So you can get every ounce of your lipstick out with your little brush. So then this just retracts back. So that is your little set that you have in your little tube here. And this is the best, because when you travel, you throw it in your bag. You have everything. There's not one brush that you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, now I could never do a makeup application. You have everything that you need. When you do a second set, because you want to have a clean set and you have a dirty set, you can always have 2 different eyeshadows. If you're doing a darker color, if you're wanting to keep one just where it's the light colors, and then you use the other one for the dark colors, all of those things. So we're going to get started with the concealer brush, and we're going to be using the eye primer. So we're going to, I just tap into the brush like this. This is what I get. And then I go right from the base of my lashes all the way up. And then you're going to see the difference between the pigmentation and then having this neutralized. This is going to set your eyeshadow up for success, because it is going to stay all day. It's going to look true because you don't have all of this pigmentation. And it's so funny, I have some eyelashes that are growing in this corner, making it look dark. And I've had that since I was a little girl. And I will take a little tweezer and I will take them out, because it looks very strange. I don't know why they're there. So we're just moving this out, making sure that this light's so bright. There we go. This is the way we like to do it, having nice and brightened, not this darkness. Do you see how dark that is? Every time I'm with you, I say to myself, or to you also, what is happening? Are they getting darker? I mean, that is not okay. Luckily, so I don't freak out about it in the morning. If I didn't have an eye primer, I would freak out about it. It looks like, it almost looks like bruised red. See, this is what we're talking about. The reds, the blues, the grays. You want to get rid of that before you do your eyeshadow. I'm going to be going in with my Cabana, and I cannot have all of this trying to go into these light colors. It's going to mix in with, it's going to make a third color. It's not going to look good. So this is, and it's so easy too, because I might have a little bit left over, and we're going to just, we have to, right? It's like putting pantyhose on. See, I just made it disappear. It makes me so happy. So we're going to go into the inner corner, and we're going to, see, I didn't really tap that much on, I was using the residual on this eye. Here we go. We got a little bit more. You don't want too much. Remember, it's a cream product. Your eyelids are moving, they're folding. And this does need to have either a powder over it or an eyeshadow, but this is a great product. I have some of the ladies saying that they use it underneath the eyes. If I have a little extra, I might just dust it off just in like these extra areas, but I don't apply it underneath my eye. I didn't formulate it for that. Again, if you have oily eyelids, if you have a problem with that, you need to prep your eyes first. You need to use an eyelid wipe. You need to not put over a cream product, any cream product on oily skin. You have to prep it first, because that is going to give you the best staying power. So that is just a little trick there. And then we will move right into using the flat eyeshadow brush, which is basically called Shadow Brush. This is the one I'm going to use. And by the way, I'm very excited that you noticed all of my brushes are clean. I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to just take a break for you a second. I know we have Cabana up for a minute, but this is, I have the baby one because I have the other one in my office, actually the larger one. So this is a travel size. I just took this to New York with me because I wanted to wash my brushes. So you're going to see, I had a little lipstick there was like a little, kind of like a pinhole. That's what that is. But you have the silicone mat on this side. So basically it's a very, very simple, easy wash. You don't have to, dread washing your brushes. So what you do is you have the water come down. Please don't put your brushes like this and have the water there. It's going to ruin the ferrule, which is the metal part here. And then these are wood. So you don't want water in there. And you'll know exactly if that happens if you do that because they crack. And that's the only way that they're able to do that is if that water gets in them. So you want the water coming down on an angle. Water comes down, you get it all wet. You take your soap, you go like this, swirl, swirl into the soap. Then you take still has soap on it, it's wet, take the top, and then you see this has all that texture. So it's going to get into all the bristles. So then you really nicely work it up. You're not too strong on it. You're giving it just enough pressure. Then you let the water run on it and you just keep shaping it. If this is all clean and doesn't have any of the product on it, then you know it's a clean brush. You lay it flat on a towel or paper towel, and then you can press down a little bit with a paper towel and you let them dry overnight. So they're always either like this or like this, but they're never like this. You never let any water go from the top to the base of the brush. You're always doing it with it. The hair is always facing down, and then you can wash it. And it's nice because it's solid coconut oil, and you're going to be able to coconut soap, and you're going to be able to wash your brushes, nourish them, have them last a long time, not ruin them, not be too aggressive with them with whatever, you're thinking that it might be okay to do. This is going to really give you that insurance that you're investing in your brushes again. It's very simple. It's very easy. It's inexpensive. We have a larger one and then we have the travel size. So this is really a great thing to do just to complete your set so you know you're washing them. And a lot of people ask me, how many times should I wash my brushes a week? Or it really depends on what you're doing. Once a week is great. You can also use a brush cleaner, like a spray, and just clean them off in between that. It's really going to be about how much you're using your brushes. What do they look like? When you're using your foundation buffing brush, this is something that I wash more often because it gets so much product in it. And I don't want to be just using dirty brushes and moving around. You'll see your makeup is going to go on differently when your brushes are too full of product and they're just too dirty. So you do need to be mindful of that. So we're going to go with our shadow brush like this, and we're going to go into the Cabana. I wanted to do something that was like, I was trying to just hold on to summer like one last second. So I'm going to do really pretty, just kind of like just a glowy lip or a glowy look, but like with a punchier lip. I'm going into the middle color like this. And what I do is I press down like this. I formulated these to be like ultra silky and smooth. They're gluten-free, talc-free, but they don't have a lot of fallout. So you don't need to get aggressive with these. Okay. This is what I do. I'm just doing one side, just like this. Okay. You see there's no fallout, nothing's coming, just making sure I'm right there. And then I'll go to making sure, because it'll crease where my eyelid creases. Now I just pat it down, no biggie. I go from the middle. I like to start in the middle, and then I just like to make sure I'm covering the eye like this, coming down to that inner corner. But see, I'm not going up too high. This is an all sheen palette. If you have really, really creepy eyes and you don't like a sheen, this wouldn't be for you. I'll show you the other palette that you could go into if that's something that would be interesting for you. And that's it. I'm just doing a nice little sheer wash. Same thing on the other side. Also, when I see a little bit of that eye primer kind of creasing, I just go over it with the brush and it nicely melts into the eyeshadow and my eye. Sometimes I'll just stop with one color. you know, it just depends on, you know, what I think and what I'm wanting to do. I'm going to turn the brush around a little bit just for the lightest color. It's like a little champagne color. Just going to go to the top, just a tiny bit. So I flip the brush around so it's a clean side. I'm just using it like that. Then that's what I usually do with the shadow brush is I do the base layer and then I figure out kind of what I want to do. Do I want to just give a little contour? That's when I go into, I decide between the smudge brush and the tapered brush. Like what kind of look am I going for? Do I want it to, you know, do I want to go into that little crease or do I want to keep it down here and just more smudgy? So I think that I'll show you. I'll do one eye with it like just smudging it up and then I'll do the other eye with it more of like, this is more of the hooded eye here. So we'll maybe do a little bit more contour there. But instead of going into this dark color here in the cabana, I'm wanting to go into, this is Strong Brew, it's all matte. I'm just using this last color here. I don't know if I listed this shadow palette, but I'm just gonna be using one color. And I'm gonna take the darkest color with the smudge brush. I'm going to tap into it like this. Not a lot, I wanna see what's going on because this is a matte color and it could be, you know, it could be too intense. I'm going to go right to the base of the lash like this. So I picked up a lot of the color. I'm going to the base. I want it to be just like really nice, little smoky. Let me just lift it up just a tad. So you could do this with shadow or you can do this with the liner. You can do both, but it's really nice. You see how I can get right to the lash with this really nice short smudge brush? So that's really nice. If you feel that you put on too much, you can always keep blending it out. Just wipe off your brush on a towel or on your disposable little, these are great. These are like the Clean Club disposable or biodegradable little towels. Are really wonderful. So I use those a lot. So here we are. And then you feel like, oh, you know what? This brush, I brought it out too far. It's kind of coming down. Just take your Almay, if this is an oil-free eye makeup remover pad. And what I do is I just go like I wrap it around my finger and then I go just to the end and I lift it up. It's a tiny bit, but that's what I do. I want it going up. As you can see, I don't want it coming down. So I leave that space right there. So I don't have to do an eyeliner if I don't want to, but that's with the smudge brush, giving you a really nice outline on your eyes from just going to the base with this darkest color here. Wasn't a lot of effort, wasn't a lot of work, but I'm getting the result that I wanted to because of the brush. Couldn't do this with my finger. I couldn't do it if the brush was bigger or if it was angled a different way. It's almost like a little mound. It's a little rounded. Just kind of a little bit like that. But it's perfect, really getting right to the base. Now, if we wanted to use, so you can see the different application technique, the tapered blending brush, so it's like a little pencil. This is more directional. So if I'm like, okay, you know what, I really want to target like right here, it's like drawing. Just think of it as like your pencil. You're trying to make more of a line there. I'm going to just take the tip, I'll roll it around so that it's evenly dispersed, evenly dispersed color like that. And we're gonna go same thing, just right to the end, maybe not as much like I did this one. I brought this one in more. So I'm gonna try to, let's lift right here. Now, don't worry when you do it and you're like, oh, that looks awful, Nicole. Like, you know, it's catching on all my skin. My eyes are a little hooded there, whatever. Don't worry. I'm placing it in that little crease there. We're going to work that out. We just want to make sure we're getting it nice into that little area here underneath my brow bone because it's really placing it. You can see it's not going all down here, staying right in here where I put it. And then you don't have to worry because it'll lead us into our next brush. The next brush we are going to do is the eyeshadow blending brush. Now, do I really need to do any blending over here? No, I really like to keep it intense like that. But over here, you're like, oh, it looks like a lot's going on. What's happening? Okay. The technique is more of the windshield wiper, light pressure. So you don't want to put a lot of pressure and start moving everything around. You want to do a little like this, a little bit windshield wiper. You're moving the product. You're diffusing it, if you will, but you still have it right in that area here, right in that brow bone, right underneath the brow bone, just like that. It's a different look. I brought it a little bit further over like that, but I want it to be just softer. And then I can say, okay, you know what? Let me take my little tapered blending brush. I got to go back over a little bit. I think I cut it a little too short. In the darkest color again. Just try not to get the mirror in your face because I don't know if it's going to catch the light. I'll bring this over just a little bit more. So it's literally like taking a little pencil, but you're a little bit more precise because the other brush, your tapered blending brush, is going to be more like you drag like this. This is more like you're penciling it in, right? You're just giving it that tip like that. So it depends on what you're wanting to do. This was clean still. I mean, I'll keep it, we don't have to, are we going anywhere after this? It's okay if we have two different eyes. We can have two different eyes, different techniques, so you can really learn and you can really put this in action. I want you to really get the technique, no matter what you're using. You really need to, as a mature woman, know how to wear makeup, how to have you wear the makeup, not the makeup wear you. We've heard that forever and ever, but it's really true. So I want you to have the techniques where you're like, okay, this is working. Like I'm getting it now. So now what we can do is we have the shadow on. You don't have to do liner if you don't want to. I would like to do liner. So what I'm going to do is curl my lashes first with our Shu Amora lash curler. It's my favorite. Oh, Robin, I'm going to read this. I think I do this every time. I see that you have all 7 already. The green eyeliner, please. Don't you worry. That green eyeliner, I talk about it every day. I work on it with my manufacturer every day. That green eyeliner is coming out, and I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited. I should be doing it behind the scenes. One day I'll do the behind the scenes of like everything that goes on. You ladies would never believe it. You wouldn't believe it. But it's probably better you don't know. You just want to look beautiful and get the products. But I'm very excited about it. I'm just as excited, if not more, than you, because green is so beautiful. And I think we're all going to really enjoy using it in so many different ways, because I'm not going to just have you use it as an eyeliner. We're going to use it in all different ways that you don't even know yet. So I'm going to just do my waterproof dark chocolate. I mean, why not, right? I'm going to go over it. This is a really great tip for you if you are looking for longevity with your eyeshadow, your eyeliner. You're going to layer. So you're going to just follow what we just did with that eyeshadow. So I'm going to go, and this is nice because this is a little bit more than I would do with an eyeliner. So what I'll do is I'll keep really tight to the lash line. So we're always building up this lash line, looking thicker and looking really defined. I've said it to you before about hearing mature women on YouTube tell you not to wear eyeliner or lip liner. And I encourage you to make your own decisions, because that is one of the best parts of doing a mature woman's makeup is the eyeliner and the lip liner. So you, in my opinion, should not be foregoing any eyeliner or any lip liner, please. I mean, do I need to go on? I think you know, if you've been following me for a while in my tutorials, and you see all the women on Fierce Aging, how their eyes pop when we get to the eyes and we do the eyeliner, and we're strategic and we're not piling it on. We're not trying to make them look like, like how much can we do? I'm going to do a little underneath, 3/4. Light touch again with the eyeliners. This is very important to know. They are rounded, soft formulation, soft for mature eyes. So when you want to glide underneath the eye like this. You don't even feel it. It's light as a feather, but the pigment comes out so beautifully. If you are so used to dragging a hard pencil across your line like that, and then you go to these pencils, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to say it's all over the place. It's too soft. It's too this. It's technique and it's learning. If you've been using something for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, yes, there is a learning curve. And you know what? I congratulate you for trying to do new things and not staying stuck doing college makeup or doing makeup in your 20s or doing makeup that you did in your 30s. Your eyes change. We know this. Every decade it changes. You evolve. You keep up with it. You change your technique. You do different things. Maybe you do a little less here. Maybe you do a little bit more there. But it's all about, you know, it's like living tissue, your skin. It's always changing. It's always moving. It's always different. Like the other day, I woke up with that crazy thing and I thought, why is it there? And then it was so swollen. It was like distorting this whole little area. I thought, how is that even possible? Okay, you know what? It changes. Things show up differently. Like the other day, wow, new spot. Where'd that come from? You work with it. And that's the beauty of having makeup that works with you and not against you. So this is the pencils. I have in 4 colors. Green's coming. We have dark chocolate. We have navy. We have plum. And we have charcoal. I do not have a black because I feel like black is too harsh on mature eyes. So I tend to go with a really beautiful charcoal or a dark chocolate. I do have a eyeshadow, a pencil sharpener that goes with this type of pencil that's soft. So again, it's rounded, it's not going to, it's very fascinating. There are so many different pencil sharpeners that it's just like with the mascara when we get to it. It's not like any sharpener is going to do the trick. Like this is a rounded tip. It'll never go pointed. That's what this is for. You have why I designed it like this so it's compatible. This is your little toothpick. I always show this to you because I think that someone's going to learn something tonight. You take off the top. So when you have all the shred, you use the toothpick for it. You don't put your hands in there. So a lot of people don't know that this hides in the back, just right there, and you stick it in, and then you put the top back on. So it's always clean, and you don't have to worry once it gets in those blades that you can't get it out, or you use something and it doesn't work. I've seen people use toothpicks, it breaks off. So that's your little guide to use, a little plastic guide. All right, so we have, okay, let me go back. I just did a little eyeliner on the bottom, but if I feel like it's not blended enough, let's just take the short smudge brush and we'll just smudge it up a little bit. Same thing with the lash curler. You think that you can get this anywhere. I mean, you can if you want to, but the Shuamora this is the only one that I have used for decades because it works and it actually lifts your eyes. How many times have you used one of these? They all look the same, but they're not. And your lashes never curl. So you're just sitting there putting tension on tension on tension on your poor lashes that are already, delicate to begin with. And you're not getting that lift. You use the Shuamora, you get the lift right away, which you can see on all the YouTube videos that I do. I use it in almost every single, well, if I'm doing a makeup tutorial, I'm using it. And then I go right in with the Volume Up mascara. So this is my mascara that I created. I created this to be very feminine. So the bottle is like shaped like a woman's body. The wand has all of these little teeth on it because I wanted you as a mature woman to grab all of those lashes. I don't want you missing out on lashes. I mean, it's the best part. So formula with the wand, working with my engineers had to be right. This is something you use every single day. So I go to the base, I wiggle back and forth. So I'm basically like front loading underneath here. So I go, you're going to see it like lifts my lid. It's like a comb. And then I like to squeeze down. I feel like I really get all my lashes when I do that. But you're going to see, do you see how I've built up this base? And that's just with the eyeshadow, doing that first liner with the eyeshadow and then going back with the dark chocolate just at the in between those lashes. Then I'm just taking the mascara and going to the base and coming up. So you're not wearing that much makeup. You're getting the look because you have the right technique. So you're going to get some really beautiful fringe when you do this. And you can also, like my lashes tend to have a mind of their own, I can go back like this with the wand vertical, and I can piece out different lashes if I really want to get them to have a little bit more. Maybe on the end here, I'll separate those a little bit. Oh, you know, I forgot last week, I forgot to do the other special product coming out, the brown mascara that you've requested. I'm going to do it on the bottom. I forgot last week. When I ended, I thought, oh no, I forgot to do the brown mascara. So I'm not used to doing mascara on the bottoms. So you have beautiful lashes. You can see them on tons of the different ladies on Fierce Aging. We have women that have very, very sparse lashes. Some are completely blonde lashes. Some are non-existent lashes. And we really work with what we have because the brush doesn't just roll over your lashes, right? It grabs them. It has all those little ones. And that's the point. So I'm very excited about this actually really resonating with you because it's water resistant. I'm wearing contacts right now. I have no problem with it. So it's great for sensitive eyes. And I don't have a little brother's, you know how I always put the date that I open it up? So right now, I don't know when I recently opened this, but I don't have the date. So I always have to put the date when I opened it because every 3 months is when you are going to throw it away. And that is if there are any rules, because you know I always say that there's no rules. If there's any rules, that is one rule that you need to do for your eye health. It's throw away your mascara every 3 months. You're doing yourself and your eyes a favor by doing that. I can tell you this as an esthetician, the things that I would see. So I have real data on this and what could happen. So there we go. Beautiful lashes. Let's get the brown. I'll show you two. I'm going to swatch the black and the brown. Let me get the brown for you. Let me see if I can remember where. Oh, perfect. Remember, this doesn't have a little sticker on it. So this is, I can't believe I'm I feel like we're having like a slumber party, actually really in my robe tonight. This is the brown. And let me I'll show you the difference between the brown, if I can swatch it correctly, and then the black. So you can kind of just get an idea of what I've created for you. Wanted it rich enough, not too light, not too dark. So then we have the brown, and then this is our black. So it's really nice and rich. It reminds me of our dark chocolates waterproof eyeliner. So it's really a nice, rich, really going to be beautiful if you're really into your brown mascara, or you want to do like I'm going to do now, black on top, brown on the bottom. So it really makes it a nice balance. So let's try that. You know, it's funny. I think the reason why I really don't wear mascara on the bottom is because I don't feel like I have a ton of lashes on the bottom. But then when I've been doing this, I'm thinking to myself, I actually do. That's why I should be wearing mascara, so you can really pull them all out. But nice and soft, so you can feel like you're getting your lashes, but you're not putting on a black mascara underneath. Just like something nice, defined and soft. It makes a difference. It's really very interesting. Taking the time on those little baby guys, but the brush really gets them coming out, which is great. I feel like I don't have that many to really work with, but when I start using the wand, they do come to life. Let's see if I can see this with like the light in my face. No, I think it was last week. I wasn't going to do it here. I was going to wait until that's why I forgot. I was going to wait until I did my concealer, then put this on. But you know what? It's almost like a catch-22. So if I put this on and get it underneath, I still have to take it off. If I already have it underneath, I don't know. Could be, I don't know. I think I'd always forget though if I don't do it right after I do the top. So now we're going to go into concealer. But first, we're going to do color corrector. This is going to be applied from the actual component. So this is going to be just peachy. It's a peach color to cancel out those blues, those grays, anything that's really dark, especially up in this little area here. It rolls from the bottom, so you just roll it up here. If you have a lot of redness and things like that, you can use the no redness. It's green, it'll cancel out red. I could have put it on that there, but my eye primer did a fabulous job at canceling that out. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do a little just peachy. I'm going to put it on like I normally do. I usually kind of like spot treat where I need to put it. That's what you need to do. If you feel that, you want to do a triangle, you want to cover this, you want to cover that, you do that. I think it's kind of strange that somebody that doesn't even know you or you even has seen your face tells you there's only one way to apply your concealer. I understand what they're saying about not having too much, but I also think that when you have certain issues with your face, like you know it the best and you know what you want to cover. I think that's where it comes with the right products and doing less because your products are doing more. I think that's where that comes along. I'm just putting this on my pigmentation just so it has a little bit of a help lifting just on the side there. Then what I'll do is I'm going to take the concealer brush that we first used with the eye primer, and we're going to work this in, which is so nice that it gets up into that inner corner there, just like that. Bringing it underneath those lashes. Didn't want to get too close because I know that I was going to bring this product up. It has shea butter in it. It's really nice and smooth if you've primed your face properly. If you haven't, you're going to run into some trouble. It's going to feel like it's skipping on the skin and you're not going to get a nice application. So you can see the technique that I have is going to be more pressing it in here instead of like trying to move it all around. So I'm going into that inner corner. I'm going to bring it up as close underneath the lash here. I get that nice brightening. I'll bring it down. Whatever's really on the brush, I'll use, and then I'll go over to the other eye. But I'm tapering it down, pushing it into the skin. This is where we're building up to have a really beautiful complexion. Again, this is lightweight. This isn't heavy. This isn't causing like a really matte skin. This isn't causing it looking like makeup's all over the place. Again, skin prep is going to be your number one concern when it comes to getting a great canvas. It doesn't matter if I was painting on canvas and I didn't have a great surface, it was all textured or it was really dry in some areas. I'm not going to be able to use any medium that I'm using for my paint on that if I really want a smooth application. That's why the brush is that's a really great analogy too, is that if I really wanted to have like a very nice thin line and I'm drawing on my canvas, I would be drawing with something like our tapered blending brush, right? I wouldn't go with a brush like this and think that I'm going to be able to get that same kind of stroke. So you have to think about that when it comes to your face also. Like you want to really know the brushes and what they're going to do for you. It really is night and day of your application. So again, coming up into that area, I will take it over that little blemish there. So now it's definitely not going to be seen. Bringing it up underneath. Again, I'm not dragging my skin. I don't need to tug and pull on my skin either. Sometimes I think I see it on YouTube where I'm kind of going through my steps on my own face. I look a little aggressive and I think to myself, so strange. It doesn't feel that way when I'm doing it. So we're just tapering it down just like this. You can go back with your finger if you want to when you taper it down like this. But really nice, like one skin, but you've just lifted that pigmentation. You just lifted it. Again, I have this, I don't know, this is like a little bit of a red rash that I have. I don't know if it's from the light. I don't know what it is, but it's only on the side. So I'm just going to take this all over in that area. A little bit of redness here. But it's really nice when you have a color corrector because the color corrector is going to lift that pigmentation, whether it is darkness, blues, greens, grays, whatever's going on. because when you put over your BB cream, your tinted moisturizer, you're not, most mature women aren't wanting to mask the skin. They don't want to wear a lot of heaviness. They don't want to feel like they're wearing foundation. So you don't want all of the things that are your concerns to basically just come through your foundation, tinted moisturizer, BB cream, etc. So you have to lift the color first. It's color theory. So we've lifted the color that's here. So now when I put the BB cream on, it's not going to, you're not going to see through like all of that beautiful leopard print on the side of my face. So that's basically why we want to color correct. And it is really, and it's very simple. It's very fast. You know, you don't have to be strategic with it. I could use the foundation buffing brush if I wanted to, but my perfectionism tonight is calling for do as much work as possible and make it look fabulous. So I'm just using my little brush like this. So now that's really nice lifted. I don't see all of the pigmentation on the side. And now we're ready to decide, do we want to go in with a creamy concealer? Do we feel like we need it? A lot of women don't feel that they need to put on the concealer after they use my Just Peachy. It's up to you. But we could. I like to sometimes see, let me put on my BB cream and then see what's going on. I mean, do I really need it? I'm not quite sure. So we're going to take the BB cream. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to put on, oh, you know what? I was going to put on the face primer, but we won't worry about that. I already got ahead of myself. I'm going to put on the BB cream. This is our Complexion Blur. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful formulation. It's fragrance free. There's cockadoo plum in it, hyaluronic acid. It's going to be like a nice burst of hydration, but it's not heavy and it's not greasy. And I made it specifically semi-matte for you because I didn't want you to feel like you were just, I don't think the greasy look is nice, and I don't think it layers right with a lot of product. So I wanted you to be set up where it just looked like you airbrushed your skin. It looked really toned and really beautiful. I use a pump and a half. So that's one pump. And then I'll just use that. That's pretty much what I need to be able to get out of it. You can see how it's like nice, and it's not like our serum. It doesn't run down. It's nice, and I want to say like fluffy, if you will. It's really like pillowy, and it's really pretty on the skin. I will use the foundation buffing brush. You can use your hands if you want to. I don't suggest using a sponge. I feel like the sponge just takes everything. And I really want that really beautiful, flawless look for you, that really beautiful, flawless finish. And I think that you get a really nice look by using a foundation buffing brush. You can see this also. You can see the women on Fierce Aging when we've, because I work backwards. I do the eyes, everything. So it could look unbalanced for you because if you're used to seeing people doing foundation first and doing this perfect face, and then they go into the eyes, it's not the way I do it. So they have all their makeup's coming together, and then they like pop the skin, and it just looks gorgeous. And it doesn't look like they're wearing makeup. We're on 4K. There's no filters. There's none of that nonsense. This is under hot lights. You see the skin for what it is. You see the makeup for what it is. And it looks absolutely incredible. And this is on so many different decades. So it's not just one type of woman. It's all over the place. And everybody has their own issues and needs. And it's really beautiful. So I'm going to put this into my brush. And then what I do is I first start off with this kind of movement, right? Then once I have this link in, I feel like it's in the brush, then I can basically do a little kind of like working it around. I take it down on the neck. I'm not going to do that with my white robe. I try to keep this as makeup free as possible. And then it just really, it's very lightweight. It's not a heavy feeling. It's not greasy. It's semi-matte, like I had said. And it just really looks just, you want to feel like I think the skin is the confidence a lot of the time when we feel like our skin looks really good, really radiant, really fresh. Gives us a little bit of a different mindset in the morning when you see your skin like this. So it's just really nice. I'll take this down just like this. And that was enough. See, I didn't waste any product and just have it just perfect. I'm gonna go over my lips if I will. I don't really need to, but sometimes It really looks like I have no lips. We'll bring them back to life. But there you have that really pretty flawless skin using your foundation buffing brush. Now we'll go into adding cheeks the way I like to with my flat foundation brush, or my foundation brush that I added in flat. I think that's how I view it. This is the Classic Beach Glow. This is going to be your highlighter, your blush, and your bronzer. I use it a lot. I really like it. I think it's really beautiful. I think that it shows your skin through. It really looks like, you know, it's not sitting on your skin, has enough pigmentation. The brush, I just put in like this. You will know how much you need to put in on your brush to get the look that you want to. What I'll do is I'll just smile here. I'll put it on, and I'll just work it up. Put it on my cheek and I'll work it up. You can see that it has that really beautiful radiance to it, but it's not sparkly. It's not going to be disco ball. It's really just a really healthy look. You can apply it however you want to apply it. Bring it up. Maybe you sculpt a little bit more. Just enough. You can always layer too if you wanted to add a different color in it also. So what I do is I just turn the brush around like I do with my eyeshadow. Try to keep it really simple. Like it's okay if it has a little bit of the blush on it. It's fine. It's all in the same area. I'm going in with my bronzer right here. It's a cream bronzer. I'll show you. This is the bronzer. This is the blush. And then this is the highlighter. So you have it, and it's really, you know, it's creamy. It's going to really like nicely work with the skin, but it's not the type. I don't know if you know what I'm going to say to you, but there's some out there that you look like that, and then they're so sheer, and then you keep adding it on, but you're really adding on all that slip, right? So you put this beautiful canvas together, and then you have something that's like slipping around to add more because you will need more color, but it's not adding color. It's just adding more of that like glossiness, and then you run into a problem because then it's like, where's the color? So this is not going to be like that. It's really nice and creamy, but it's not going to be slipping and sliding all over your face. When you put it on, there it is. You know, there's this really beautiful kind of just healthy glow to the skin. So I'm going to use the other side of the brush into the highlighter first. And then I put it right here. I just want to be right on top of that bone, just right here. You can put it wherever you feel that it really accentuates your face, but I made it because I wanted you not to shy away from being able to use a highlighter. It's, again, not sparkly. It doesn't have, it's funny, I was testing out something the other day, and it was this lip, and I noticed that it had like those little flecks, that kind of micro pearls that literally, they went from my lips. They went like the next time I looked in the mirror, it was like all around here. So I took my Almay pad. I'm thinking to myself, I'm just going to get this off. Like, whoa, can't believe it. It was on my lips. Now, how did it even get all over my face like that? It was like a gloss with, I don't know, it was very strange. And I couldn't get those off. So I used to have clients that would come in and they would have that eyeshadow, and then it was like, I was like, where did we go? Like, I could not get them off the face. They last forever. So this doesn't have anything in like that. I wanted you to be able to really enjoy. Yes, we can go over these beautiful, oh, here we go. We're going to do it. The linen lines, I'm trying to think what everybody said last week. I'm going to look. What did we say last week? We said, I've been saying linen lines. Someone said, did we say magic lines? Wisecracks. That's it, Linda. So we can go over our wisecracks. It's like, you know, we don't need to shy away from it. We don't need to say, oh, I can't do that. I can't wear that. I can't highlight this, highlight. Oh, I hope it highlights it. I hope it highlights these beautiful, well-deserved lines that you have on your face. I mean, if not, I don't know. My video tomorrow at 10 will go. It takes like a nice little dive into that whole craziness about everything. So we have really, did we not, I didn't do, how could I forget the bronzer? I just got so crazy about the wisecracks and all of the fun things we say. All right, so I'm going to go into the bronzer and do the tip. I just do the tip. I like using one brush. I really do. I think that it's just easy. It's fun. It's all that. This is what I use it for. So I'm going to the base of my cheek there. I just work it up, not too far down, but just enough. I mean, look at the glow. And I put this on. It doesn't matter. You can say, "Oh, Nicole, you're 49, so it wouldn't look good at me. I'm 75." Oh, yes, it does. Look at the ladies. Look at their skin. I mean, it's like one of the ladies recently, I just like rushed through her whole thing. I forgot like 5 steps because I just wanted to get to her complexion. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Why are we even on this step? I haven't even done half the things that I needed to do for you. I got very excited. So I just think that it's just, and it's all in one compact. The reason why I did this is because I was like that nuts person digging into my makeup bag all the time. Couldn't find where's my blush? Where's my highlighter? Where's my bronzer? And I was just it made me crazy. It actually used to be an all powder palette that I had. And when I reformulated and repackaged, I decided I'm going to make it all cream for us because I think that's going to be we're going to really love that. So that's what I did. And it was really because I was on HSN in the green room panicking about adding color to my face and adding, bronzer because the lights were so bright and all of these things. And I couldn't find it. And I said, that's it. It needs to be on one palette. I am not digging around anymore. I have like 3 seconds to be on set. And that's why I did it. So that's why the Classic Beach was born, because it was out of necessity. So here we are. Beautiful, simple makeup tutorial. We're adding color now. I have the Cabana on 2 different eyes, but I like it. I think it's nice. Do you think we need to do a little milk chocolate brow mascara? Let's keep these brows up, fill them in a little bit. Any gray hairs will be gone. And you can do clear if you want to. We have a taupe, we have a dark blonde. No, we have a cocoa. Very, very, very easy, simple. Take control of your brows if they decide to turn gray, like mine do. I'm going to use coral. I don't know if you saw that coming. I'm going to be using coral, and I'm going to be using Beach House because I said I don't want to leave summer. So I have the Cabana, and then I have Defiance. We're gonna play around with these so you can see kind of like we'll start slow and then we'll intensify. Remember, we have the Dream Lip Mask that I launched in New York last month coming out soon. This is your overnight lip mask. So if you are dealing with dehydrated lips, if you are dealing with all of these lines here that you really want to soften and moisturize, this is going to be your product. So we do have it on the website now that you can go and look at. Actually, I forgot to, well, it's a pre-order. You can get on the wait list now. But then I did a silicone angled lip applicator because I wanted it to be really nice and soft and comfortable, and it's going to bed. And this is all about taking care of yourself. This is a really great step if you haven't done this. I've been doing this since I was literally, I revert back to 12 because I remember it was the Body Shop peach lip balm thing in that tub that I was like always slathering on, especially during the summers. And then it just stuck. And then I've been doing it ever since. I'm like the connoisseur of lip treatments at night because there's a lot of rules that I have that it has to do. So I created this one, fragrance-free, really beautiful, not slippery, not thick, not feeling like, oh, something on my lips. I'm going to bed. It's going to get all over my pillow. Nothing like that. So I think you're going to really enjoy this. But I'm going to now, since I'm going to be putting on a lipstick or a lip gloss, I'm going to do my rose lip balm that I did at the beginning. But I went over my lips with the BB cream. Do you see? I have to use it till it's like gone, even though it's very awkward. I don't know how I got it like this. It never used to be. It used to be flat. In my 20s, my bullet was always flat. And it's funny. I said this on a recent video. I never knew that this meant anything. So Cosmopolitan magazine back in the 90s did. You can Google it now, and you can see whatever your bullet looks like. Some are flat. Like my grandmother's was like curved like this, like it literally like hugged her lip. I was like, how did she get it like that? So interesting. But it says something about your personality. So you should look it up and look at your bullet. And if it's like flat or if it's curved or it's slanted or it's like a peak, it gives you a whole personality profile off of your lipstick, which I think is really interesting. So we could go with our coral. We can make this a lipstick if we wanted to. I have on my rose lip balm that really gives you a very nice setup for your lip liner. I could also, using a darker color, go in with my crystal clear lip liner to keep the lipstick from migrating out into some fine lines. So what we're going to do is this is a very punchy color. So I find it's really a really important thing to use the rose lip balm first because you're going to get a nicer, less kind of opaque application. It's a smoother, more forgiving, and instead of going right to a dry lip. All right, so you can see this would be a very bright color. If I hold on a second, I have like skin that I've been picking at on my lip that I can feel. And then I think I saw some of it on my other bottom lip. That's wonderful. All right, so this is the color we could fill in if we wanted to, but I want you to see what everything looks like. Right now I have on just the coral lip liner and then a little rose lip balm. This is called Defiance. This is my lip gloss that has a very powerful name. I made the lip wand. You see it curves up a little bit, so it kind of hugs your lip. And it's not a huge doe foot because if you don't have very large lips, it'll be like an over application. So I wanted something that was going to be easy to apply and not feel like it was everywhere. So it's a little bit more of a softer application. So if you wanted just like a kind of a popsicle lip, if you will, you can add the Defiance. And get like really juicy lip, like really pretty. Cabana and Defiance with the coral looks so pretty. I always say line your lips when you're doing a lip gloss, just so you have that definition. It's just not having a gloss on. I really love the combo together. It's just really a very soft look. It's a very kind of glowy, bringing that summer kind of vibe throughout the entire year, if this is what you're kind of wanting to go, or maybe it's just like what you're channeling, kind of feeling that day. You're feeling like, it's a really great time in the winter to feel like kind of brings you back, kind of gives you like a really kind of cool, chill kind of vibe. Then we can do Beach House over. So this is more of my trick when you have a color like that is going to be more of a statement. This is a statement. Beach House is a statement. Confidence, my berry red is a statement. Velour, that's more of a fuchsia pink, is a statement. Those are my brightest colors that are in the line. So you can see that maybe this might be a little intimidating for you to have such a punchy color, or maybe it's like very, you're not used to wearing more warmer colors. You can put the lip gloss on first, then take the lipstick. It's kind of the reverse way of doing it. So you can get, it's almost like it's a barrier between, and you can enjoy wearing this, but it's not going to be so shocking to you. It's not going to be so dark. And I think it's a great entryway into wearing a darker color by doing it this way. So that's what I love doing, because I feel like you're not kind of shocked when you when you go from the bullet to your lip and you think, oh my gosh, it's too much. This allows you to feel like, you know what, I like this. You get used to seeing yourself in a color like this, and then you decide, oh, you know what, I don't really need to do the lip gloss first. Let me just do it from the bullet, because you've seen it so much on yourself. You're getting used to that look, and then you just take it up a notch You always want to have that option to have variety with your products. You just don't want to be like, oh, this is it. It's a beautiful burnt coral with a little bit of gold flecks in it. That's it. That's all I can do. You can use this on your cheeks if you want to too. If you want to warm that up. Maybe you wanted to have the classic beach glow and then you're like, you know what? I think I need a little bit more. Maybe I'll bring in my lipstick on my cheek and then we'll work it in so you have a little bit of that coming together. Maybe you need more cheeks when you leave out in the morning because your skin absorbs your product and you really need that punchy cheek before. You can do that. You can layer that. So those are some things to think about that you might not have thought about before. And I don't think I forgot. Oh, you know what I did forget? I don't have, let's just, we'll have to improvise. I'm going to take the concealer brush. This would be my soft set, which I would normally use the eyeshadow blending brush. But do you see, because we blended over here, I don't want that to be underneath my eye. So we are going to take the concealer brush into the Nikita Banana. It's a brightening powder. And then I'm going to just, if I had to, I will just soft set just right in this area here, because that's where I run into some problems. And I just do it like that. Now it'll be set and it's perfect. This can stand in. If you happen to only have a dirty brush, you can have this stand in and you can do that because you're precisely applying it to your under eye area. It's not a big area to do. So we can answer some questions about maybe brushes, maybe technique. Let's see if we want to have any questions about this. I need to. It's a good thing tomorrow is a wash day for the hair. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Any questions when it comes to the makeup application? Any products that maybe you have that you are wondering certain questions about? Definitely can answer those. This is a really great time because it's real time. So this will be. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. If we have any questions over on Instagram. Neat. It's interesting. Actually, Instagram looks really good. So if you're on my app and you're on my website, you can probably Instagram looks good because we stream. So sometimes I think on YouTube or TikTok, it looks like it's not live. But how long do you keep your makeup brushes by the? What does it say? By the way, how long do you keep your? Oh, how long do you keep your makeup? How long do you keep your makeup brushes? By the way, how long do I keep my makeup brushes? I've had my makeup brushes for years. So if you treat them properly, if you wash them properly, the way that they just showed you with having something that's going to work with your brushes, a brush soap that's going to moisturize them, like you shouldn't have to replace them. I mean, I know the ladies like to buy other ones for maybe their luggage and then one for the vanity and things like that. But these, I haven't replaced any of these brushes. I've just added more so I don't have to wash them as much. Let's see. Yes, Jane, we are shipping to Australia. We are. Very exciting because I saw all of you ladies for so many years asking. And then I saw the emails like, you know what? I'm done. I would see them come through customer service. So I was thrilled on Friday when we launched international. So I hope that you enjoy. I hope you really get excited that it's here. It's finally here. Let's see if there's any other questions. I can see all the questions on Instagram. So this is great. I can answer them in live motion, even though it's delayed, so I see myself in the past. Jane, how do I be more gentle and not move product around? That'll come just by you thinking about, okay, like this is, I want to say in a small area. I think it's really about just thinking about what you're doing and the technique that you're trying to emulate and just, knowing that you don't have to do a lot of things with the brush. Like the brush is working for you, so you don't have to do a lot. So a lot of the fierce agings show you, because I'm on someone else's face, on how I am telling you the pressure and telling you what I'm doing. So those are really good to see because you get to see it, with me working on somebody else. Yeah, Linda, sometimes the BB cream pills, because the moisturizer, or depending on if you're using a certain moisturizer, if it's too heavy, or the sunscreen and all the layering, and then you put on the face primer and then the BB cream, you have to be just mindful of all the layering, because I have seen that before, that if it's just too thick of a moisturizer, or that SPF starts to kind of get in the way with the moisturizer and then all of the other things. Just try to use serums and see how that works. You use the heavier moisturizers, or, since you are using SPF during the day, use that heavier moisturizer at night. Okay, would you tell us a few of, I can't, you know what, your face cleansers. Okay, my face, okay. Few of my face cleansers that I like to use. I have a couple different ones. I'm trying to see if I have anything right here. I'll show you. I have Dr. Dennis Gross that I like using as my seconds. Hold on. I have a little tray that I have of things that I'm testing. So I like to use this as if I'm doing a double cleanse. So say I'm using the Elemis cleansing balm, then I'll use the Dr. Dennis Gross, the BHA Daily Cleansing Gel. I really like this one. You can see I'm almost finished with it. Then we have this one. I told you recently it came clarifying cleansing foam, just a little bit. This is Clé de Peau. Really interesting. Little bit though, really nice. It's a very nice experience. So I've been really liking this. I usually do a double cleanse. So I'm doing oils and then I'm doing a gel. So these are some of the lineups here. I don't think there's another cleanser. There's my toner that I like, the Clarins toner. It's the hydrating toning lotion with aloe vera and saffron flower extracts. I really like this one. I have little babies and I like it so much that I went and bought the larger one. So those are the cleansers that I like to use. I don't know if there's anything else that I've been on a rotation. I like to try to, I'm trying to get through my products so I can really, keep the combination going, keep testing new products. That is the objective. I always love testing as much product as possible. All right. You have difficulty, Peggy, using the eye pencil on crepey eyelids. Okay, so crepey eyelids, definitely a challenge. What I suggest you doing is, there's a couple different things, because it's hard when I'm not talking face to face with you. So if you can see your eyes and you have crepey eyelids here, the best thing to do is don't try to line a long line. Go in and these are very pigmented and they're soft. So you're going to, with a little pressure, you're going to get the eyeliner to come out. Do the best you can by, almost like you're trying to connect the dots, right? You're trying to connect the dots here. You're not trying to do a whole line, because that's very hard when you have the crepey eyelids, because it's, you get some of the skin, then it's all over the place. So do the best you can. It's okay if it's all squiggly, whatever, but make sure you get enough on there, because then you would go back with your short smudge brush and you would just drag it. You close your eye. You'll know what it feels like, because you're going to be right at your lash line. You're going to drag it across and you're just going to smooth it out. That's the easiest way when it comes to crepey eyelids, because don't try to do a whole line. Don't even try to do a half. Just go in and really just get that. When you feel it in your lashes, you know you're doing it right. And it's okay when you open up and think, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It looks like a roller coaster. That's okay, because you have this tool and you're going to go back and you're just going to smudge it all up. And I'm telling you, you're going to be thrilled, because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it looked so scary at first, and then now it looks so great. That's my tip for you, Peggy. Elizabeth, no matter what you do, the pencil eyeliner fades after a few hours. All right, so we have to think about how you're prepping your eyes. Are you using the eye primer? Are you using, trying to think, at only a few hours, maybe do you have enough of the product on? Some of those things that I would be thinking about, because you shouldn't, because most of the ladies are having problems taking it off because it's waterproof. So I would think about how you're prepping your eyes. I would definitely try cleansing the eye first with those eye wipes that I get from Cornicare. They're called Rinse. That would be something, maybe your eyelid's a little bit oily and you're putting it on and it's kind of not it's not working for you because you're already starting off with a base that's oily. Something to think about to prep the eye. Okay, there's another question over here. Anita. Okay, let me see. Can you read it to me, please? Because I can't see with all of the... Okay, so Anita asked this question about, can she use a small brush, the concealer lip brush, for her eyes with the eye primer? I think it is lid for primer, or is it too small? No, you can use this if you want to. Just remember, it's a flat brush here, and it's a concealer brush. So yes, you could use it on your eyelids if you felt that that was really an application you liked, or underneath. Or if you wanted a concealer brush that was a little bit, it's going to have a different application. So you would have to really, this might be the application you really love, because you can get down in that inner corner, or maybe you want something that's going to be a little bit softer, a little bit covering up a little bit more of that area, that eye area, not working as hard, but you can definitely use it on your lids if you wanted to. All right, let's see if we have any other questions that are coming through. I was thinking I was going to say something. Margot, should the rest of your face be set? That's up to you, and that depends on your skin type. Is it oily in the T-zone? Then you can set it for sure. If you feel that you don't want to set it, you don't want to matte anything out, then you don't have to. Pam, what is the name that brush you use for eyeliner? The brush that I use for the eyeliner, now I did one eye with this, which is the short smudge brush. That's the one I did on this eye. And then the pencil brush that I did just in a different technique, the tapered blending brush, that's the one I used on the left eye. So those are the ones that I used. So funny. All right, let's see. Joe Carroll, what do I use for dark spots? What you use for dark spots is going to be your Just Peachy if you have light to medium skin tone. Darker skin, we have Extreme Cancel, which is more of an orange. That's going to lift the more purples and the reds. So that's what I use on my dark spots underneath my eye area here. On the sides here is the Just Peachy. It's a color corrector. It is a peach color that is going to neutralize out those dark spots for you. All right, let's see. Oops. Let's see. I'm trying to go back. Rhea, can you use the Nikita Banana powder set your makeup all over, or is it meant just to brighten certain areas? No, you can definitely use the Nikita Banana all over. It's a brightening powder. It's a pressed powder. It's lightweight. So you can use it under the eyes if you want to. You can use it to set your whole face. You can use it on your whole face if you want to. It's very light, talc-free, gluten-free. It's not going to be a heavy powder. So you can, if you want to, really, it's not going to just sit on the face, but it also depends on your application, on how you're applying it to the face. Ellen, we did have samples of BB cream when we first launched. We don't have them available right now. Okay. Colleen, when do you put on sunscreen after face primer but before BB cream? I like to do my whole skincare routine. So I'll do, my skin will be clean. I'll do a serum so it's nice and light. Then I'll put on my SPF, and then I'll put on my face primer, and then I continue on. I like to wait in between to make sure that I'm ready for the next step. But that's how I do it. I include it in my skincare, and then I start with my makeup. So face primer starts my makeup application. Thinking about it, it depends on, really, I guess, everybody has their own way of wanting to put product on. And I think that, if you're doing a lot of different steps, I think that a lot of the different skincare steps could be really more targeted to nighttime, and then being very simple, but yet giving your skin what it needs for the day. I think that's just how I do. After face primer, but before BB cream, you could, but I like to have everything that is skincare related on my face. And then when it's ready, I prime because I want a super, really beautiful application. And then I'll go in with my eyes and all of the things, color corrector, and then the BB cream at the end. All right, so any more questions that we have here? Pam, I would love to hear your opinion of lash extensions. I have no lashes. Pam, I love lash extensions. I did them for 14 years. I did extreme lashes though, and I did one synthetic lash attached to one natural lash, 1 millimeter away from the lid. So it's come a long way since when I did it and everything. I mean, now there's robots doing it. I mean, but I just think that you have to research who you're going to. You need to know what glue they're using. You have to ask all these questions because what I've seen out there is very concerning to me, and I've talked about it a lot. And I think that you really need to just do your due diligence. It's your eyes. I've seen many, many things being done that shouldn't be done. And you just have to get a referral, find a qualified technician. I think they're amazing. I think they're great. If you don't have any lashes, then you're not going to be able to do it. You have to have natural lashes to be able to put the lash extensions. But you could always put a false lash on if that is the case. How do you keep lip liner from feathering? Sandy, use our crystal clear lip liner. It's a clear lip liner that is going to create a border around your lips so that your lip liner or your lipstick doesn't feather. I have multiple different lives that I feature this product in. You can go back because they're all recorded and they're on my website, NicoleBeauty.com. A great way to see that in action. And also on my Fierce Aging, which is a series on my YouTube, that there is a playlist that you can see all of my different years back from 2019 until 2025. All right, so there's a question from YouTube. What brush do I use when applying Nikita Banana? Thank you. This is coming through, I think, Joan Morgan. Okay, what brush do you use when applying Nikita Banana? You have a couple options depending on your application. So this is Nikita Banana. We can either do, if you're setting underneath your eyes, I take the eyeshadow blending brush, roll it into the Nikita Banana, and I just softly set it underneath my eyes, maybe a little around my nose. I kind of like do T-zone depending on, because it's nice and fluffy, but very small. So it's not going to take up a lot. If you want to do your whole face and you want to dust it, you can take your blush powder brush and you can be mindful. This is going to pick up a lot of product, so it depends on what you want to do. I wouldn't suggest this underneath the eyes. I would say more of the whole face if that's what you're wanting to do with this brush. Okay. Then when will the new serum foundation shades be available? Linda, that's a good question. I did see something today. I'll have that for my next live. I'll find out soon. I have to find out though. I can't remember the date that I saw. Erica, we could do that on Fierce Aging, a Mother of the Bride makeup tutorial for Mother of the Bride, so who will do their own makeup. Oh, I could do it too. Yeah, on the channel. That's a good one. I could consider putting that on the list there. Okay, we have a question from YouTube from Manuela. Hi, Nicole. Should we use eyebrow pencil before or after foundation? You know, I think that it's a great way. It's a great thing to do at the very end. I've noticed that I like to do that just in case I go over with my brush or I'm doing something. I like to do the brows at the very end. I put on my brow mascara kind of almost to the end today, but I would go back and do pencil because I've noticed that sometimes I just get a little wild with my brushes and I just don't want to mess anything up, or I should leave it to the end. Mary, is there a special kind of tweezer that I use for false lashes? No, I just use this is my favorite. It's actually mine. Oh, here it is, right in front of me. I have it in this one little space. This was my tweezer that I used to have on my website, and I think this is my only one, and this is what I use. I just use this metal one. They come with plastic ones that I don't know. I can't. I really just can't work with them, so I just use this one. Leslie, does my night lip treatment actually help with fine lip lines? It's going to hydrate the lips. It's not, we don't position this as like it's, going to take away your lip lines. What I have noticed is that my lips are just so much more hydrated, which I put it on my whole lip, like a little bit above, and my lips look much better. Like I have this one line that's been coming up, and I do have a little bit of migration when it comes to wearing Confidence, the red lip, or with more of like these darker colors. And I'm finding that it's just softer. It softens out because it's hydrating the lip and it's hydrating it overnight. So it's not going to get rid of them, but it's going to really, you'll see an improvement with the lips. Cookie, you like the I think it's reef, what is it called? I don't even know. I think we looked it up the other day. Refry or free, I don't know. It's an eye balm that I found at Sephora that I just put underneath, and Cookie likes it. It's nice. It's nice. It's very, very light. So if you need a heavier eye for evening, I would suggest getting one. This one is actually really great for evening. That is the Advanced Night Repair. I told you about this. If you like the Night Repair Serum, this one is really nice. I can't do it during the day. Clearly it says night, but I try to get away with it sometimes. But this is to lift the eye and sculpt it. And it's a really nice formulation. So I've really been liking that at night for my eyes. Oops. All right. Any other questions that we can do about makeup tools, any kind of troubleshooting that you're having troubles with? Let's see if there's any questions over here. All right. So I'm so excited that you got to see more in depth using beauty tools, knowing that they can work for you. They literally make your application look flawless. And this is really the secret when you have very simple brushes that you can use, that you can enjoy using, that are going to last you, and you can travel with them. They don't get ruined, and they're always going to be something that is very useful for perfecting your makeup. And I think that if you haven't been using brushes and you've been kind of picking and choosing and using a sponge and using that, and you're not really feeling that you're getting your full potential, when you switch over to brushes, you're going to see a dramatic change. And I say that because if I was trying to do makeup as an artist with just, little brushes here, or the wrong hair, or the wrong everything, I couldn't do it, because the tools, the brushes, are really what is creating this look. It's really about placement, obviously. It's about technique, but it's also about the tools that you're using. So if you feel that you're not getting the look that you want, maybe it's time to upgrade. Maybe it's time to say to yourself, you know what, I really need to, have things that work with the products that I'm trying so hard to really create these beautiful looks, and be simple and not to be stressed about them. I think that's really the takeaway. Find what works for you. Be excited about what you're using and how it feels on your skin. That has been my main intention of, how you're feeling using the product. And are you inspired? Are you excited? Like for instance, on my palettes, when you open them up, you're going to see, let's get this beauty started. It's about getting your beauty started. Whether you think you forgot about your beauty decades ago, or you're just getting back into your beauty, it's never too late. It's all about feeling good, knowing what to do, not feeling lost, feeling like you have a community. And that's why I love coming here on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 to really encourage you to do all of the things, do the techniques and experiment with them, and try a darker lip if you want to. You could do everything or you could do nothing. It's really up to you. But, you make the decisions, and you know how you feel when you put yourself together, or when you have or find the perfect mascara for your lashes, or the most perfect, foundation, BB cream. You just feel really good, because when you're going somewhere, you're going to look a certain way. You know how you're going to look. You don't have to, you're not surprised. And then, the makeup really does change the mood. When you don't feel like you look good, you know, it kind of sets the tone for the evening. And so I always wanted you to feel you had a really great range. You had really great products that are going to really enhance what you look like and not feel like you're just putting on a ton of makeup and you don't really know what you're doing at this stage of the game. So that's not it. So thank you, Linda. I'm happy to spend time with you too. All of you ladies, it's really wonderful. I see this question over here. Yeah, let me see here. Priscilla has a question, and I'm going to read through these comments. You have dry under eyes and dark circles. How do I color correct and set my concealer without it creasing? All right, so you have dry under eyes and dark circles. How do I color correct and set my concealer without it creasing? Okay, so this is basically what we've been kind of talking about tonight. So your eyes are dry. You have dry under eyes. So you're going to want to moisturize. Cookie was just talking about something that I showed a lot recently because I bought it. It's an eye balm. So you want to try out different products to see how your skin adapts to them. And does it help with the dehydration? You have to hydrate your eyes. You have to find the right nighttime routine with your eye treatment and also in the morning, because anything dry, you know, your product's going to skip. So you want to have that really nice, and it might take a couple weeks. You know, it's not going to be just overnight instantaneous. I have also these bags are designer that I didn't bring out for this because I wasn't really going to cover this, but I have silicone eye patches. Are these them? Yes. They're called These Bags Are Designer. Real quick, you put on any cream or serum, and then you put this on, and it's going to push all of that product into your eyes. So it's going to help with that dehydration. So this could be something, because they're reusable. Just wash them with warm water, let them dry, pat them off, make sure they're really dry, and then put them back in. So you can see I travel with this. It just happens to have these little samples. This is Clarins and Dior. Put them on, hydrate. So that's your first thing. Dark circles, are you going to be using color corrector? So if you have a light, fair, light, medium skin tone, you'll go in with the Just Peachy. This is a color corrector, lifting that darkness underneath your eye area. And then if you have darker skin, you would go with the Extreme Cancel. And then the way you set it, you bring your BB cream up to where you put, you don't bring the BB cream over here, you put the BB cream up to your color corrector, or if you needed to have concealer to make sure that everything is as bright as you want it to be. Then you would set it with the Nikita Banana that we were talking about. And it's just the same exact technique that I've been showing under the eyes so it won't crease. It's going to be, I like to use the eyeshadow blending brush, and I just roll it in here. It picks up just enough, and then I just sweep it underneath here. I don't really go out here because I don't feel like I need it. Plus I put my highlighter on. I don't really want to, I don't want to dim that. So I just go underneath here just like that, because that's where I have more of my concentration area of not creasing. And that's how you do it. Mary, as you talked about the under eye patches, I just did, but it wasn't part of my program tonight. I was talking about brushes, so I just wanted to mention it because we had a question over on YouTube that wanted to know about dehydration, or that's one of her issues, and so these bags are designer are perfect for that. No worries, Mary. You can always see it too again on my website, so it's always there for you to be able to review. Liza, how do I avoid raccoon eyes? Well, the application that we just talked about with setting, making sure that you have your under eyes set, depending on what kind of mascara you're using. I'm not quite sure if you're using my mascara. Ours is water resistant, not waterproof. So you want to make sure that you don't have too much under eyes, too emollient, right? Because if you are blinking and your mascara is touching more of a wet, emollient, liquidy area, that's where you can get some transfer. That's why setting the eyes underneath is really important. So it's something to think about. It's really about product when you really think about it. It's really how you're setting up your skin, how your skincare goes, and how you're setting your skin throughout at the very end there, so you won't get any of that kind of transfer. Connie, I can't find product to cover the deep line between under eye and top of front cheek. Okay, you can't find a product to cover the deep line. All right, so Connie, you ladies are bringing it tonight. All right, we have 4 minutes left. This is what I talk about. I have a couple different videos on my website, on my YouTube. So basically the hard line, I think that we usually like have a bag here and then it kind of drops down and you have like this hard line, like we like to call it. So it's obviously recessed and it's darker. All right, so what you can do is you can do the Just Peachy like we did, color correcting this area. Then you can take a lighter, one step lighter than you normally would with your concealer. And you can just dot. So I think we talked about this last week too. You can dot right in that crevice, right? You want to lift it because it's dark, it's receded. So you can take a step lighter. This is actually light. I would go into fair. I've done it before. You can also do fair, light, fair, light. You can do like a little mosaic if you want to. Then you would take the concealer brush just like this. You don't want to move it around a lot. Remember, it's that line's deep, dark. You want to bring it forward. So you can press this in with the concealer brush just like this. So you're in that groove that you have, right? So you're lifting that up. So you want to do that. Keep pressing it in just like this until it's blended. Then you're going to set it. So this is what you would do. Maybe you might come in and say, okay, let me just blend out just the edges a little bit. But the creamy concealer is really nice. It moves with your skin. It's not going to be thick and cakey. Also, I have designed the wand where all the products at the tips, you can get into that line. That was the whole intention. So you can get into that inner corner. You can get into that darkness, but you're not blobbing it all over the face and then feeling like, oh my gosh, like now it's everywhere. It's not precisely where I need it. That is a technique to try. See how it works. Set it with your Nikita Banana, or if you have another powder that you like. See how it works when you're lifting that. That's, you just get right in there. Mary, how do the products hold up under high heat and humidity outdoors? Well, guess what? I'm the best person to ask because I'm here in South Florida and I have tested my products through the tropical weather of being ridiculously humid and wearing a blazer and taking out trash and doing all the things outside to see how hot I could get, to see what happened. Holds up beautifully. Took it with Las Vegas because I wanted to see dry heat. I was very surprised because I thought, oh my gosh, is it gonna my skin to be like super dry? Looked beautiful. BB cream and serum foundation looked incredible. Gave me that moisture still. So it has been through rigorous training, Mary. Like it has seen coast to coast just to see, because it's a very hard environment here. It's very hard to have this much humidity and leave with your makeup actually still looking good. All right, so we have less than 2 minutes left. I'm so happy to see all of you. Leslie, thank you for being here. It's so nice to see everybody over here I finally got on Instagram. It's so nice to see everybody over here too. It's just really fabulous. What a great community. And it's just everything that I love. I could talk beauty all night long. We're here for 2 hours together, but I'm here every Wednesday. I have a really great one coming up when I'm in New York. I'm going to be showing you kind of like a getting ready to go to a business dinner, something a little bit different. I thought it'd be really great to see what I'm going to wear, how I put myself together. That's coming up this month. And lots of exciting things, ladies. So if you're international, if you're in Australia, if you're in London, if you're in South Africa, wherever you are able to order Nicole Beauty now. You can watch all of the videos on YouTube, all of the Fierce Agings, watch all of the shoppable videos and really learn and understand, because I only want you using products or buying products that you're using, feeling incredible, and really showing your best self and showing up as your best self. Mature women really need to just get out there, take up space, be heard, be seen. That's what I want for you. And that's why we do this, because you know exactly how to do your makeup. You know exactly how you walk into the room and you demand the attention. That's what it is. So ladies, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you know how to use the tools better now, and you're going to really apply them to your makeup tomorrow morning. So until next Wednesday, I'll see you later. Bye.